In addition to our work on the green job sector, the director has made it a priority to do research on and create programs that focus on narrowing the wage gap. The director believes that narrowing the wage gap greatly impacts low-income women's chances of earning a better wage and entering the middle class. If we look at the statistics, we see that women earn, on average, only 80% of what men earn. And for African American women and Latinas, the wage gap is even greater. African American women earn just 71 cents, and Latinas 62 cents for each man's dollar. So we at the Women's Bureau realize the need to build up our research capacity. And one of the things that we want to do is determine where the gaps are on this topic, fill in these gaps, and then disseminate the information through publications, fact sheets, and other types of summits and conferences. Our other priority is to focus on homeless women veterans, which we believe is a particularly vulnerable group of low-income women. The director believes it is unconscionable that women veterans end up in homeless shelters or on the street. So since last year, the Bureau has worked to improve services for this population. From August to September 2009, the Women's Bureau conducted a series of listening sessions with the homeless women veterans and the service providers across the country, specifically New York, Pennsylvania, Texas, Kansas, California, Oregon, and Washington. And based on these sessions, the Women's Bureau found that factors such as unemployment, lack of job training, lack of information on veterans' benefits, and mental health issues all contributed to the growing problem of homelessness among women veterans. So based on our findings from these sessions, the Bureau is testing different types of projects and models across the country to better serve women veterans and homeless women veterans. We are working to connect them to jobs, to employment resources, and to other basic necessities such as housing and health care. In addition, the Women's Bureau supports the Healthy Families Act, which we consider an important piece of legislation that will improve the lives of low-income women. The Department of Labor believes that workers should not have to perform a balancing act between one's economic security and one's health. And the Healthy Families Act is a law that will assure workers, especially low-income workers, that they will not lose their job or risk some form of disciplinary action just because they or their children are at risk or sick. So in closing, we know and understand that the Women's Bureau has a lot of work ahead of us, but we are off, and we know we are off to a good start. Our success is rooted in the working relationships we have with our constituents, states, and organizations that are participating in today's webinar. And I know that working together, we will create more opportunities for working women, particularly low-income women. So I just want to thank you all for your time and open the floor to questions.
Thank you so much, Rose. This is Jennifer. I really appreciate you taking the time and jumping in at the very last minute to provide us with the overview of the work that the Women's Bureau is undertaking, particularly around pay equity, green jobs, homeless women veterans, and paid sick days. So I think we had initially planned to take a couple of questions now, but because we started a little bit late due to some technical difficulties, we're going to hold all questions until the end. However, I do know there was one person who asked that we just repeat the website address for the Women's Bureau, so if I could ask you to do that, and then we will move along.
Sure, of course. It is www.gov/WB. So that's a backslash.
Great.
WB.
Great. Thank you so much, Rose. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.